Time is now 5:26 on a Monday morning. This Sunday night has not been in my favor. It's been slow. I've got like 11 trips or 12 trips for the whole night. And that translates to $190. I haven't even broken 200. It took me till 1 o'clock, 1:30 to break even. Till 1:30 to get to the point where my expenses were covered with the earnings that I had made up to that point. So that left me the last 4 hours in which to make some money, during which time I made $80 maybe. I was lucky, I guess. But yeah, this was I watched a lot of video. In fact, I think this is the first time I've been just about up to date on the 3 channels with which I watch YouTube, or really close. I can watch a few more things when I get home, and then I will be up to date. It was raining for much of the night, and there was a little bit of white stuff, but the snow, it's too warm to really stick to anything. According to the thermometer in here, it says it's 2 degrees. So that's 2 degrees above freezing. And when some of that white stuff comes down, it doesn't really stick to anything. It melts. So if it gets colder though, we will get snow. Apparently, if you go just a little bit north of here, it's been snowing. And it looks like I might not have enough time to get another trip unless I get it real soon. But this thing has me 3rd in the zone. Yeah, maybe I should stop off at the bank and make a small deposit. Yeah, and of course, yeah, maybe I should change the bulb. Apparently, one of my headlights is out. Apparently. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stop off at the bank, and if there's a spare bulb in here, I'm gonna change that too. Yeah, well, I got 4 more nights to go this week. Oh, well, it's morning. It's Tuesday morning, and I got just enough power, I think, to light this little vlog segment up. And it was seemed to be a slow night for a while, and I got some lucky trips, and it just kind of worked out to about $300, which was surprising because I did get quite a bit of sleep, and I watched some video, and yeah, it's all right. I'm just walking home because I was busy sleeping when I would have normally made my segment while in the car. And then when it was time to quit, well, I had to go wash the car because the owner's driving after me, and I like to give him a presentable car. Then, yeah, fueled up, and I don't think I'll be late for the chiropractor. I just got enough time to go home and put on a hat because it's cold, and put some gloves on too because my hands are kind of cold too. It's around freezing at this time. Time is now, I don't know, 6:05, 6:10, something like that in the morning. And a beautiful blue sky starting out there. Not a cloud anywhere. And the sun will be coming up soon. Yeah. Yeah. End of another night. 3 more to go this week. Time is now 5:41 a.m. and it was a long, slow night. I've done a grand total of 2, 4, 6, 10 trips. 10 trips in 11 and a half hours. I really don't feel like working anymore. I've just been sitting and waiting and sitting and waiting and sitting and waiting. Doing a lot of sitting and waiting. And what's this? 42. Okay, let's do the 42. Yeah, okay, I'll do one more trip because I've only got $205 on. It gives it to me. Whoa. Okay. Well, I'll tell you. I came out here and it was quiet. I think I had 3 trips on by 9 o'clock. I think I had 6 trips on by midnight. And the other 4 trips, well, I think it was just slow. But at one point I had one that went out to the Western Communities, and then I had one out there that went from one house to another and back. And that was very advantageous to me. It put me to the point where I was doing okay. Right now, I got $205 on. Looks like I'm gonna get another 8 or 9. Oh, fucking guy. The line of cars is starting to come into town from out in the western, well, out in the north and the west. The cars are coming into town now. People coming in to work. Ugh, I hate it. I was gonna go wash the car, but now I'm gonna go pick up this customer. She's not gonna go far. It's gonna be an $8 or $9 ride, and then I'm gonna go wash the car. Yeah, and I gotta see under this visor to see the traffic light. I am tired. I did watched a lot of video, and I did fall asleep numerous times while watching video. Yeah, it's slowing down a lot. I don't know if it's just the economy or what, but there's this stupid thing they did to the dispatch. They made it a lot worse than it used to be. Trips that I used to get automatically are now, I'm only getting them if I bid on them. There. I don't usually get. Well, and the only way I can bid on them is if I see them come up. Like this one that happened. The thing made a noise, but it didn't just give me the trip. I had to find out what the trip was and then decide to take it or not. And in this case, I decided to take the trip because, you know, I don't have much time left, but it's not a long trip. And even though at this point, I would take a long trip because I could sure use the money. $205, that's making less than $100 for myself. Now with this one more trip, I will make about $100 for myself. Yeah. And I had another night like this already this week, where I just made $100 for myself. That was Sunday night, and last night worked out okay, but tonight was Tuesday night, and it just was not. No, it just was not. Anyway, I'm getting close to where I'm going to pick up my customer, so 2 more nights to go this week. Wish me luck. I need it. Time is now 5:54 a.m. I just dropped off in Langford, and this was a long, slow Wednesday night. 2 things saved it for me. One was my generous customer. We were driving his friend home, and his friend paid for a $14 fare $25. And then we went back to, and when I dropped off, my generous customer was asking me why I didn't start the meter again. I said because we're still on the same call, and it would be more paperwork to split the trip up, and it would cost you $3.85 more, because that's where the meter starts. If the meter's already going, it's already going. Now if I restart it, it will initially charge you $3.85, and then it will charge you the time and distance. So I'm saving you money. And he says, well, I always give you much more than the amount. I said, yeah, but this is just a habit of mine. I would have customers complain, or some customers would complain, if I stopped the meter and started it again when one person got out of the car and paid the way up to there. Yeah. So I got him back to his place, and it was like $24 on the meter. Oh, shut this thing up. Log out. It's done. I'm finished. Okay. So I got him back to his place, and it was $24. And he says, so what do I owe you now? I said, well, he gave me $25 for this $24 fare, so you really don't owe me anything. And so he went and pulled another $40 out of his billfold and gave me another $40. He says, thank you. Good. That was nice. That was very nice. And I did get a late start last night. I started at just around 8 o'clock, just before 8 o'clock. I slept in. Oh, now we've got the big traffic going into town. It's that great big stampede of cars going into town in the morning because everyone's going to work. So now here I'm merging onto the highway, and there's a whole bunch of other cars merging onto the highway, and it's going to be crowded all the way down. Looks like I'm going to have to wash the car too because it's getting splattered with salt. The temperature is now -1 degree according to the dashboard thermometer. That's pretty low. Pretty low. Anyways, the other thing that saved my night was the trip I just had from the gorge out to Orano, and Orano is in Langford. It was a $35 fare, for which I received $40. So $105 of my night came from those two fares. The total of my night. $230. Yeah. $230. That's on the low side of being acceptable. If not for that trip from my generous customer, it would have been $165. $165 is not good. That's extremely bad. I got to watch a lot of videos. I got to the point where I had seen everything that I was subscribed to. So I started going into my watch later list and started watching videos that I saved on there. Oh, I'm estimating about 5 or 6 years ago. Anyway, I did get to see quite a few. Now, yeah, like I said, I'm heading back to town to the car wash. And after the car wash, I will detail the interior. And I'm going to fuel up. And I'm going to go home and rest. Now, last night I got a late start, and I'll tell you why. It's because somebody came to visit in the morning, and took her time leaving, and I was already quite tired because I had an eye exam in the morning. And when I got home, my guest was still there. Yeah. So I put on my oven and went through the half hour of preheating. Oven was preheated. Meatballs went in the oven. I slept through the little bell that tells me when the meal is done. So my meatballs got very charred. Yeah, and the other thing was the bed of frozen vegetables, which turned out okay because it was only had to be in the microwave for 5 minutes. But the meatballs, major part of the meal, was charred. Yeah, I'm tired. Today I will go home and not be interrupted. That's what I hope for. Did I mention that I fell asleep several times too? Yep. I'll fall asleep again when I get home, shortly thereafter. One more night to go this week, and what a brutal week. First week of March. Yuck. Time is now 6:13 in the morning on a, what is today, Wednesday? No, Friday morning. It was the end of my Thursday night. It's the end of my week. It is my weekend as soon as I park this little piggy. Yeah, it was a long night. It was a long night. But at least I had some good trips, and I had enough trips so that I got $270 on, which is better than it often is. $270, you know, I can live with that. I got enough money for groceries. I got some money for Interac overs. And I'm going to a whiskey festival this weekend. Yeah, that would be the Cowichan Valley Whiskey Festival in Duncan. And Duncan is not so bad. It's only an hour's drive from Victoria. So tomorrow on Saturday in the afternoon, I'll drive up there. I will go to a particular liquor store and buy a few bottles, and I will get a hotel room, and I will stay and I will grab a cab to the venue where the festival will be going on, and then I will taste whiskey for 3 hours, take a cab back to the hotel, and sleep it off so that Sunday morning I can drive back to Victoria having slept it off. And back to work again Sunday night. Yeah. And tonight, yeah, I got 270 on if I haven't mentioned it yet. That's okay. I wish the rest of the week would have been more like that, but it was exhausting. It was one of those where I would fall asleep after every fare and start watching something on my phone and falling asleep watching that thing, having not seen the whole thing. Yeah, I am tired. Oh, there's our green light. I think I may have finally found the optimum way to put this phone on the dashboard without having it fall over. I think it's leaning just enough you can also see a space between me and the steering wheel, which is nice. I don't like it when the steering wheel cuts off my face, or cuts off the bottom of my face. So I think I've finally, after driving this car for a long time, discovered how to put a phone in here to record video. And there you go. There was something else that was on my mind earlier, but it seems to have escaped me at the moment. So I won't talk about it, whatever it was. I hope yours is better than mine.